fact 4:59 p.m. Central Standard Time, Sunday evening, not May yet, April the 30th, which means it's time for the show. I'm Tim.
And this is Justin Fields. It's time for the Freshwater Perspective.
That is beautiful, man. Justin Fields on the show today, bro.
Yep.
How did we even know, dude? How do you even know?
Here I am.
All right, look at that. We got sounds. Dude, that's the first time. I think that's the first time since the last time that I got all of the stuff hooked up and ready to go before we went live.
Man, we are just cruising.
I'll tell you what, I'm going to be a professional at this before too long.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll be, dude.
Me too.
This is actually a new camera. I don't know if you can tell. It looks a little different.
It does look a little different.
If you're listening to this on
view.
the audio, you won't know that. But, yeah, it's got almost a little fisheye look,
Yeah.
a little bit. But
Makes
it's,
it
I don't know if I can.
bad.
I don't know if I can change that or not. But it doesn't matter. It looks fine. It works.
Good.
So, Gary, how was your week since the last time we spoke, man?
Man, the week was good.
Or spoke on the show, I guess.
Yeah, it went really fast. I'm still training our new individual that is joining our company.
Sure.
We just had the 2-2 Trot 5K in Hammock Bay, the third annual.
Third annual.
That went really well.
Yeah, you ran really fast.
First race I won,
Yeah. It was a 5K,
5K.
so 3.2 miles-ish.
Yeah.
And you ran how fast?
Not as fast as
Like
I
3 minutes,
normally
4
run.
minutes, tops?
2.5 minute miles.
Yeah, 2.5 minute miles. Perfect.
Because there was only like 75 people, but my son and I, Grayton, were in the lead, so I didn't have anybody to really follow.
Sure.
So I averaged like 7:15 pace.
Yeah.
So 20
Do you
minute.
find it easier, or do you find it better for you to have someone to be behind throughout the race to like follow and pace with, and then like turn the jets on at the end? Like if you were actually racing like a long distance race,
Yes and no.
or do you want to just be in the front the whole time?
No, not possible to have that most of the time in races unless
Sure.
you're the
But,
elitist.
well, if you're the fastest, yeah,
Because a lot of the people drop off right away that are gun ho
they try to
right
go
out of the
fast.
gates.
That's right.
So there usually is somebody when there's enough runners out that's around your pace, and
Sure.
then you pace for them for a little bit. But then, yeah, I think towards your mid to three-quarter, you're putting in what you're going to get out. So
Sure, yeah. You get a couple miles under you on a 5K, and you're like,
warmed up, ready.
yeah.
to,
Then
yeah.
you're like, okay, we can turn the juice on a little
Yeah,
bit and
yeah.
get after it. Yeah, interesting.
It
I
takes
was
a
just
minute to
curious
warm
about
up.
that, 'cause I don't run. I don't know if you could tell. I don't really run.
You don't?
No, I'm not a runner. I'm not. You don't run, dude. If I literally tried to run from here to the road, which is what 50 feet, 100 feet maybe, it's not very far. My freaking calf muscles would be like rocks by the time I got there.
Really tensed up?
Dude, they go from like they've got pretty big calf muscles, for a
Yeah.
fat kid. Because I've been carrying around a lot of weight my whole life, right? They get like rocks though. If I try to run, it's like
Like bounce pennies off of them?
I don't even could bounce them. They would just stop, just done. They just
The penny would break.
penny would probably break. Yeah. The only padding left would be like with the skin over. There's nothing else.
Your skin would disintegrate.
That's right. Yeah, it's pretty bad. It's gross. It's terrible. I don't know what I got to do about that, apart from just lose some of the extra that I carry. But yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Based off that talk with the squats in one of our podcast episodes,
Oh right, yeah.
you with
You mentioned-
your popping of the muscle across the knee or whatever it was,
behind,
I
yeah, on
think
the
you're
backside
just
of the-
tight all on your
Oh, the whole way down.
posterior,
Yeah. Posterior on your backside,
all the way up to your buns,
your booty butt. Yeah, all the way up to your booty butt.
which is probably accurate.
It was funny because I always thought I didn't mean to cut you off about your week. I guess we can go back to that.
No, it's fine.
I always thought that I had something wrong with my knee, like for a lot of years, right? Because it just kind of hurt, from time to time, And I had started doing CrossFit. Gosh, 10 years ago? Maybe like 10 years ago. I had started doing CrossFit, and I was going to this gym here locally, and blah 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 blah. And then when I moved away to Orlando, I went to a new gym there, And one of the first days that I was there, one of the coaches goes, "What's wrong with your ankle?" And I was like,
Oh, right. They
I was
noticed that
like,
stuff.
I don't know. What are you talking about? You know what I mean? And he's like, "Yeah, something's wrong. Your ankle's
foot
really
wouldn't
tight."
stay flat or whatever.
Yeah, he's like, "Your ankle's really tight." And I was like, or something was wrong with it or whatever. And I was like, "I don't know. Never had any like. I mean, I've sprained my ankle and
Right.
and stuff like that when I was a kid, but like never had like what seemed to be like prolonged problems with my ankle. It always seemed like it was my knee, but I guess my knee was just having to carry the load essentially because my ankle wouldn't,
Right.
and so that's what was causing my knee to. And so yeah. Anyway, so I tried getting my ankle to like, stretch the proper way and kind of get more mobile and stuff like that over time. But
You know what's crazy is that a lot of the boxes now,
yeah.
that's about as well as they get versed in their biomechanical.
Oh yeah. Well, it depends.
There's
where
some
you
of
go.
them
Yeah,
that are
yeah,
really
yeah.
educated and
Yeah.
have a great background.
Well, you
in
don't
it,
have
but-
to know any of that to be a CrossFit coach.
No.
Like, you have to know the basics of movement and
Yeah.
stuff like that, but you don't have to get deep into that. Do you know who Kelly Starrett is?
Doesn't ring a bell.
No, he does. He used to. He wrote a book called The Supple Leopard,
Okay.
and he's like
Cool
a
name.
yeah. So he's like a joint and muscle like movement like guru. You know what I mean? Like the whole book is about like how to make your joints and stuff work properly, and what you can do to fix things if they're not working right,
Right.
and all of that kind of stuff. He has all his social media stuff now is called the Ready State. It used to be called the Supple Leopard, but now it's called the Ready State. And I don't know if that's because he wrote a new book or whatever, but he's really well versed in that stuff. And a lot of the coaches that I've worked with and stuff, they follow his training pretty closely. But
I generally like everybody's take on fitness and our well-being. Because, again, there's a lot of theologies and there's
Sure.
a lot of stuff fitness-wise and programs that you can do. I genuinely like just kind of extrapolating as much as you can from
each thing,
right, because everybody's going to be a ninja on their own craft, but
I'm a
there's a
ninja.
little bit of take from everything that you hear.
Of course.
Not everything's 100% accurate. Some of it's opinion, but I thoroughly enjoy listening and
Being
seeing how everybody else does it.
Being somewhat of a fitness professional yourself.
not as much as I used to
Yeah.
be, but
You've been a trainer.
Yeah.
You're not currently training anyone.
no.
No. That's because I won't come to your house at 5:30 in the
You
morning.
should show
or
up
whatever.
and just work out with
Yeah.
me. Wouldn't
Or
even be
6
training
o'clock
you.
or whatever day it is. Well, I mean, you would have to tell me what to do. I don't know.
Yeah,
know what I mean?
we'll just do the same routine.
Yeah, you just like be like, do this, Tim, and I'll be like, I don't want it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be fun. I'll cry every morning, and then you'll have to like get me a juice box or something.
I'll put it in the mini fridge.
yeah. It'll be good. It'll be good. So
Juice box of life.
you won the 5K. This was yesterday, so nothing happened apart from work. Like Monday through Friday, you didn't do anything apart from work.
All training. So it was hard to take the. Once I get the trainer's hat on,
Yeah,
it's hard for me to delineate in the workday to get back into
sure.
the normal grind because it's a
You're
lot
teaching.
of emotion
You're in
involved.
You're teaching mode. Yeah,
Kudos to teachers out there.
Yeah, it's tough.
Molding our children's minds, or not, or turning TVs on, whatever.
sometimes they just put on a video.
Yeah.
That's why teachers play videos. Have you ever seen that stand up from John Mulaney? He's talking about he like went out on like a Sunday night with his friend or like a weeknight or
John
something.
Mulaney is hilarious.
He is hilarious. He has a new special out now that he's quit the drugs and stuff. He's sober, and he has. You probably didn't even know he was addicted to stuff.
No.
Right. So that was part of the whole thing is that he was pretty good at hiding it from everyone, right? But anyway, it's really good. I watched it the other night. He talks about how like him and his friend, a girl teacher, went out one night and like she was just like shithoused, right? And
I may have seen this.
yeah, and he's like, "Don't you have to work tomorrow?" And she's like, "I'll just play a video." And he's like, "That's why teachers play videos?" He's like, "That makes
yeah.
perfect sense."
Or catching
Yeah.
up on grading assignments.
Right. It's like you guys just sit there and shut up
the whole day.
I don't want to hear anything. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's how you know they were drunk the night before.
But man, it's mentally exhausting.
Yeah.
it's the biggest avenue of transfer of motion because, you want to believe in what you're teaching, or you do believe
Sure.
in what you're teaching, so you don't want to just be teaching like this, guys. 42 divided by 6 is 7. Here we are in class today, folks.
Yeah.
I hope you retain this after you're done with high school.
No one does. No one ever will.
No.
No one.
No.
Yeah.
Um,
So then that was the week. You just taught all week.
yeah, all
Yeah.
week.
Yeah. Do you have any like nice dinners or anything? Did you like have an? I know you had chicken nuggies one night, right? Or was that last week or this week?
I had chicken nuggies last week.
Yeah.
It was a busy day,
Yeah.
and the boys had either jujitsu and soccer.
Oh
So kind of,
gosh.
and Don and I with the
Proper
twins.
football.
I don't know. We ended up having just chicken nuggets
You got to do it sometimes.
leftovers.
I have been on a hot dog kick lately. I
They're
just
cooking
love
hot
a
dogs and
freaking
burgers
hot dog,
today.
man. Like,
yeah,
I'll just throw a couple of hot dogs in the microwave to heat them up because you don't really got to cook them. That takes too long. Like to put them like through the boil of water or any of that kind of crap. It's all ready to eat anyway.
here's the test of the day.
What's that?
Of the day.
What's that?
Shout out to Western New York here. Have you had a Salen's hot dog yet?
I don't know who Salem is, but no.
They are sold now at Publix.
Yeah.
It is
Are they
a
expensive?
type of wiener
Wiener.
that hails from Western New York.
Okay.
Not expensive. You usually buy one get one. You can either get
Ooh.
the beef or pork.
I like a beef frank.
They are
To
really
be
good.
frank, I like a beef frank.
They're really good.
Write that down. Salem's. How do you
Mental
spell that?
Sahlens.
Got it. I'll
It might
check
be
it
an
out.
apostrophe.
You know, what's up with sometimes when you buy a pack of hot dogs, there's 10, and sometimes when you buy a pack of hot dogs, there's 8. And there's always 8 buns. Why are there 10 wieners and 8 buns, dude? Do you have a theory?
Never noticed it. Never thought about it.
Yeah.
Very
Well,
interesting.
you're welcome. Yeah.
Now
you're
I'm
welcome.
gonna look at the wiener package
Yeah.
differently.
If you buy just like regular old like cheap hot dogs, right?
Nathan's
Like
or whatever.
cheap or just like regular
Oscar
wieners,
Mayer
right?
weenies.
There's usually 10 in a pack.
Okay.
If you buy the like cheddar dog, they have like cheese in them, or if you buy something like that, there's usually 8 because they're like a little thicker usually, right?
Yeah.
So they put 8 in the pack because it takes up more space. But normally a regular pack of hot dogs is 10 wieners, but the bun pack is always 8 buns. Do they just assume that you have like 2 extra hot dog buns laying around, or like you got to just put the other 2 on slices of white bread or whatever? Like,
You're just gonna wrap them in
yeah,
potato
put them in a
chips.
tortilla.
Yeah.
Something. I don't know.
Cut
It's
them
weird.
out for your omelet the next
Yeah.
day.
What do you put on your hot dog? Like as far as condiments and like toppings and stuff. Do
So
you
my
like stuff on there?
My perfect hot dog would have
What's your perfect wiener?
either. I'm okay with either relish on
Sure.
my wiener.
Okay.
Mustard. Not a big ketchup guy.
No. Okay.
Now, I would also do some cheese. If there's some cheese, I would definitely do some chili, some spicy
Sure.
chili.
Sure.
Onions, the little diced up onions.
Yeah, especially if there's chili.
Wow, I
Those
want a
two
hot
things
dog
go
now.
together for me.
They're being cooked at home right now.
I think the chili makes it with the onions and the cheese
Oh.
go a lot better. If you don't have the chili, I'll still put cheese on mine, but the chili kind of helps melt the cheese a little bit, right? Because it's hot,
Yeah.
and that kind of stuff.
slime dog.
So there's not really a good way to melt cheese onto a hot dog like you can on a hamburger, right? You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like in a hamburger, you're cooking it, you can put a slice of cheese on top. With a hot dog, you can't really do that. Like, where do you put the cheese on a hot dog? You know what I mean?
Have you
So
had a
kinda
Fenway
need
Frank?
that. I've never been to Fenway. I don't know.
Oh, they're pretty good.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I've ever been there. No, I know I haven't.
Yeah, the cheese
Um,
just kind of falls off.
It
when
just
you
falls
put it.
right off the hot dog. You don't have
Especially
any
if you
place
throw
to
the
put it.
little sprinkly
So,
dinkly cheese on.
I'll throw like the bun and like I'll just put a slice of cheese on the bun and throw it in the microwave
Slapping
for like
cheese?
15 seconds or something. Not like American cheese. I'm not a huge American cheese
Talking
eater.
like provolone.
But I'll buy sliced pepper jack or sliced cheddar or something like that. But not. I don't buy a lot of American cheese. Every once in a while, but.
You like bologna?
Every once in a while, man. Not. I probably will never buy
Yeah,
a pack
yeah,
of
yeah,
bologna in my life.
We're kinda the same way.
I think we ate bologna as a kid a lot, but it, like not a lot, but like we would always cook.
We did
it.
a lot.
You eat it like fried
Fried bologna
yeah.
sandwich.
a little bit of mayonnaise,
Yeah.
and a
Cheese.
slice of American cheese.
Slapping cheese for that.
Yeah, slapping cheese. Is that what you guys call
Yeah,
it?
slapping cheese.
That's good. I like to hear what people call different things like that. Do you guys have a name? Did you guys have a name for like canned biscuits? Did you ever call those anything?
What are canned biscuits?
You don't know canned? You know?
Oh,
you
we
buy
talking
cans of
about like
biscuits.
the
yeah.
you smacking on the
Yeah. Did you just call them canned biscuits or biscuits, or did you? We always called them wop biscuits.
You just made that up.
No, because you had to whop it on the counter. You had to like
Hey,
wop
Timmy,
biscuits.
go get the wop biscuits.
Yeah,
from the
exactly.
fridge.
That's what it was like. It was literally like, go get the wop biscuits.
Slap those
Yeah.
guys in the stove
And
real
you just
quick.
have to crack them on the, and it's like the scariest thing in the world when they actually pop open.
It always
It's the
is.
worst. Gosh,
I just made
thought I got shot 3 times.
cinnamon rolls the other day.
Oh, yeah.
And they weren't whopping, so I had to do it like waiting for it.
Yeah, 'cause you know what happens. The reason that they don't pop open when you hit them is because you're timid, and so you're not hitting it hard. You know what I mean? Because you're like
Yeah.
knowing it's going to happen, so you're like, and then like if you got to get it a good whack.
A good
Yeah.
wop.
A good whop, yeah, for sure. You got to do that. You didn't call them whop. My little brother always called Parmesan cheese foot cheese because it smelled like feet.
I'll never look at that the
Yeah,
same.
you're never gonna eat Parmesan cheese.
I love
again.
foot cheese though.
I do too. I do put Parmesan cheese on a lot of stuff actually. I don't know where we were going with that. Your week was that. That was it. You trained. You ran in a 5K and won it
And shout out to my son. He
in your age bracket, I assume.
Yeah.
Or just like always, like
Overall.
overall too.
Yeah.
But like, yeah. He
Yeah.
stayed weed the whole time.
yeah.
So he actually probably beat you, is what you're saying. You had to push him over at the end just so he wouldn't cross the finish line before you.
Yeah, I actually threw
You
him
like,
out of the way.
oh no, he fell, and you actually tripped him. Yeah,
I said, oh no.
yeah.
I almost went there with it.
Oh gosh, I don't know where there is, but it's not good. I'm sure.
Yeah,
push him
he
down.
did really. He was the star, and I thought to myself, I was like, when we were kids growing up, we weren't running with mom and dad. We weren't doing this
No.
stuff, and everybody's like, oh my gosh, get him in a running club. He's so awesome. He's so fast. I can't believe he's only 7. How old is he?
Yeah, I don't think I knew what a 5K was until I was about 25 years old.
I didn't know what it was
Yeah,
until
I didn't
my
know there was
20s
like
either.
people ran for fun.
Yeah,
Like that sounds insane, dude.
yeah.
That sounds insane. My dad would run, like around our neighborhood and stuff, and I would run with him sometimes. But he was just way more fit than I was. Like he was way more fit than I'll ever be. So yeah, he would just leave me, back there somewhere.
While your calves were so
My calves were like
Stone
rocks. Yeah, I'm telling you, bro.
They were
it's
fighting each other.
They
cue
get
the cut in of the
nuts.
rocks, by the way.
I should, yeah. I'm just gonna take a picture of my calves and post it up. Yeah, it's gonna be good. It's gonna turn the ladies on.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I
Avert your
guess.
eyes.
Yeah, don't look at that. Yeah. Your husbands won't appreciate it. If you
Yeah.
look, they won't like it. Nope, don't do it.
You don't want to get a shot that fast, do you?
No, you don't want to get in trouble.
Holy cat sauce. How was your week?
It was good. It's the work week was, the work week. It is what it is. We printed shirts. We embroidered hats and shirts. We had to do some sublimation this week, which is a different kind of printing. We had to do some direct to film printing this week. Yeah, we did a lot of stuff. Let's see. Not much video game news, I don't guess. The new patch for World of Warcraft comes out on Tuesday. So that'll be good. We'll have some new content to do, and then the new raid comes out the following Tuesday because they always release like the big new patch
To the
1
weekly
week.
update or whatever.
Yeah, and it'll come out on Tuesday, and then the raid will come out. The new raid will come out for season 2 because we're finishing up season 1. Season 2 will come out next Tuesday, the following Tuesday. They don't like to release, for whatever reason, they don't like to release the raid content on the day of the big patch, and I think it's probably smart because it tends to clog up everything if you try to do that.
Yeah, with all
And
the
so-
downloading. And,
Yeah, so they just kind of do it in 2 separate weeks, and it gives people a chance to get acclimated to all the new stuff that's going on. There's some upgrading that you can do to your gear and stuff like that in the meantime to try to get you ready for the new raid if you're
Yeah.
not already. Different stuff like that. So they give you a week to kind of get ready.
It's exciting.
And then the following Tuesday, we'll have the new raid coming out, which means we'll have the new Race to World First, which is where the top guilds try to be the first. The top guilds in the world literally race to try to be the first one to kill the last boss
Pretty
in the
cool.
raid. It's really fun to watch because it used to be that just like you knew it was happening and you would like watch the websites that keep track of the stuff to see who was how far along and different stuff like that. Now they do like big productions and they stream it on Twitch and on YouTube and they have people there that are talking about it the whole time, and it's like these people take 2 weeks off, or because sometimes it can take.
Well, it's good content.
Yeah, some people can take. Sometimes it can take 2 or 3 weeks to get to the end of the raid. For these, even for the best guilds in the world, it can take them that long to get there and kill the last boss, and they get to test everything ahead of time in the public test realms,
Right.
but not the last boss. Nobody gets to test the last boss. So when they get there, they're going in blind. They know they have the log of the journal of what abilities it can do and stuff like
Right.
that, but that's just text. It's just you can read it, and if you don't know what it is, then you can't see it, so you don't know exactly how it works until you get in there and try it. And if it's 3 or 4 different phases of a fight, you get in there and you bang
And wipe, and then
you bang your head against the first phase
Yeah.
100 times or whatever, and you finally get to the second phase. And it's like once you've perfected the first phase, it's like you have to start all over because now when you get to the second phase, you've never seen it.
Yeah.
So you have to bang your head against that for a bunch of So those guys, man, I think so. They are the best players in the world. Don't get me wrong, they are the best players in the world. But sometimes I think it's just because they have created this environment for themselves where they're comfortable with just sitting there and playing for
And
10
figuring
hours
it
or 12
out.
hours
Yeah.
a day for 2 weeks and figuring stuff out. And they have a team of people so you have 20 people in a raid group, and then they have a guy that sits outside of the raid group watching them play that actually
Takes
coaches
notes,
them
too?
and tells them what to do. So he'll be like, hey, this is the next ability that's coming up, so and so you're going to use this healer cooldown to make sure that we don't die. You know what I mean? Like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So he's coaching them and telling them what to do as the raid goes on. It's only been a thing for maybe 2 or 3 years where they've been having someone sit outside and raid lead from outside the group, but it's been a very big change in the way they do things. And then they have people too that are literally constantly crunching numbers and stuff and being hey, if we wait at this point instead of trying to push to this point fast, then we can get, what I mean? They're for our team, our raid group, it's just 20 people that are playing and we're doing the thing, but they have 20 people outside of those 20 people that are constantly doing stuff,
a little business.
creating add-ons and different stuff like that. And it's just it's
little
wild.
mini business.
And they're literally getting paid to do it.
Yeah.
So that it is a business, and they're all sponsored or on a raid, a gaming organization team, all that kind of stuff. So it's crazy to watch, but so that's coming up. That'll be fun for me.
Yeah.
Yesterday I went to while you were running your 5K, I was at the Exotic Car Show
Yeah.
in Destin in the rain, which was
Oh,
cool. Yeah, it rained a little.
After the afternoon was coming down.
It started raining. Or it was raining when I got there, and was setting up. We had to be set up by vendors had to be set up by 3, so I got there about 1:30, which was earlier than I wanted to get there technically, but for some reason I was just early, and so
Hour and a
I
half
got
early.
there. Yeah.
Early bird.
So I got there and I got set up, and it was kind of raining a little bit, and I'm under my tent, so it is what it is. Plus, they had stuff it was on the top of the parking garage,
Yeah.
the palms,
You
So
told
you
me about this
just
before.
go underneath the parking,
Yeah.
under the first layer and hang out down there and not get rained on. But the show was fun. We gave away a bunch of shirts. I don't try to sell things at those kinds of events. It's just give away stuff, marketing things, that kind of stuff.
Brand awareness.
Sometimes at an event I'll try to capture emails or something, but I don't do email blasts really, so there's really no point in doing that. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
I should do them. It's something that I only think about like twice a year, maybe. So it just never happens, right?
You could get a CRM program and
I don't even know what that means. I don't know what you just said.
customer relation management program, and then you
Yeah,
can kind
but
of.
then I still have to do the thing though.
Yeah, you got to plan
Right.
it in advance and still
That's
do
right.
the thing.
So like I can send the email blasts through Square, where all of my
Everybody's
clients'
bought
information is already
Yeah,
there.
even easier.
Right. So it's not that I can't do it; it's just that I don't do it.
Right.
Right. Yeah. So I already have like all of my clients' emails are captured. I just have to.
Now, I'm
push
sure
the button.
there are some people that appreciate that, but there's
What?
probably also the person that would go, "Oh my gosh, I just got that email
Yeah.
from Tim."
So sometimes, actually, a few months ago, I did this. I was kind of running low on funds a little bit. You ever have that happen? Yeah, happened to me.
Yes.
So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna reach out to like 5 or so of my like bigger clients that I think might take advantage of this, and I offered them a deal of like, if you buy 100 shirts, I'll give you 25 shirts for free or
Yeah.
something. And like 3 of them did it, and
That's
so,
awesome.
yeah, so it was cool. I just reached straight out and was like, one of them was like, "This is the first time that I've ever ordered shirts before I ran out of something." You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And so I was like, "Oh, cool. Smart.
Well,
glad I could help."
we will unfortunately, maybe not right now.
Not right
Never need that many shirts. Now, I don't know
You
if
might
I'd ever
need that
want to
many
be that
shirts.
big anyway.
You might need that many shirts. What if you wanted to give away shirts during one of the parades or something that you do?
Tell you what,
you
we
could throw
did
shirts off the parade float.
we did have some great tie-dye ones made that if we could have done more and just
Yeah.
kept them.
Exactly.
Right. Okay. Never say
give-
never. Never. I'm just saying for the media
You don't
team.
need them you don't need them as uniform or,
Right.
or team
Right,
member
right,
things,
right.
but to give away at events
Marketing.
and stuff,
Yeah.
marketing things, you could use them. Yeah. That's what
Some
a lot
really
of those
cool
people
shirts,
use
by the
them
way.
for.
We really like those tie-dye
The
shirts.
tie-dye ones?
Yeah.
What did we do? We did red ones for your Christmas party.
Yeah.
And then we did
Dark blue.
blue ones. Yeah. You guys like tie-dye, I've noticed. Is that a thing in New York? People just like tie-dye? Or did
Well-
you think when you moved here they were going to be tie-dye people running around everywhere?
If all of our
you
viewers
crunching?
haven't noticed that my face has a little sunblock on it, thus it's white.
Yeah.
Honestly, I just threw this shirt on because it was the only shirt that matched my
Oh, your swimmies.
my swimmies.
Yeah, that's good. That's smart. That works out. Then today, after so we'll go back to that. Today I went to church this morning,
Oh, good.
per usual, and then came home, slept a little bit on the couch. You ever do that? Like not
Don't get me
not like
started.
not like slept, but like just like dozed off for a second. Like that kind of thing.
I tried that
And then,
both yesterday and today.
Yeah, you can't do it, huh?
Yesterday I got hit in the eye, which made me see a star by a toy and a cup. And then today, my other son was sitting next to me reading a book, not only with his eyes, but also with his mouth.
Sure, right, because you have to read out loud,
So yeah,
so it didn't work.
I don't think naps exist anymore unless it's a time I shouldn't be napping.
You should maybe you should like get a little like a little spot outside somewhere that you could just like sneak off and like a hammock in the backyard.
I just need to get busy enough to buy a separate house.
Maybe you need to move into
It'll
the
be the
mother-in-law
go away.
suite.
It'll be the go away.
You need to
house.
move into the mother-in-law suite.
Guys, I'll be right
The carriage
back.
house,
Just
yeah.
going to the home.
Yeah, you need to move into the carriage house. Yeah, but let Donna move into the regular house with the kids and the wife.
Oh, that wouldn't work either.
No, that'd be good.
Love my kids. Love them. Holy
Um,
cow, the twins are becoming savages right now.
You got to stop that. You can't have savage kids running around. Dude.
Trying to run the house.
Yeah, can't be doing that. I had something I wanted to discuss, and I forgot what it was. Like something specific, because I thought I really feel like we should start talking about something specific every week. right?
Yeah, have a little bit of a theme. I agree
instead of
to
just
that.
randomly rambling about. Well, last week we did. Was it last week or the week before we did?
Last
video
week
games?
we talked about video games. Well, that's the week before. Last week was the problem with cell phone services and
It
all.
was. Yeah. How about that video or that picture I sent you yesterday? At the,
The T-Mobile. shirts.
they were one of the sponsors of the event, so there were a few people running around with T-Mobile shirts on. Yeah. I thought they were looking for you.
No.
I thought they were out there trying to get you. They were trying to get other yous. They just weren't trying to get you specifically. They were trying to find other people to rob and scheme.
They had answers. They had answers for the
Yeah, they
The
were
reason.
like, "Here's the reason why."
and it always sounds good, but every bill has still changed.
Yeah. Oh, really? It's like
Oh.
well, it hasn't been a month yet, but yeah, I'm with you.
This last time, oh ma'am, because that just called this time. It's because we have to manually enter those discounts in, and so they were missed, and they're occasionally missed.
Well, that doesn't have.
Oh.
What does that have to do with me?
So you're paying somebody to manually.
And they're not manually entering them?
What person picks
Yeah.
up the phone or is on the phone with them and goes, "Yeah, that's probably right. You're probably paying somebody to go through
Right.
and manually enter over a billion."
Right. Yeah. I think that doesn't make any sense. I think you're right. That sounds
That was
like
some fluff.
that sounds like
There's some shit covered fluff.
yeah, that's terrible. Either way, okay, so even if that's what they are actually doing, that's a terrible business decision. Why does that person why do they have a job? Can't you just make it do it on its own?
They
We have to
could make the
manually
cell phone
enter
bills lower
those.
if they just took care of it
That's
in the
true.
first part
You know what's
and
funny?
didn't hire somebody to do that.
At the company that I used to work for, the corporate entity that I used to work for, which we've talked about in the past, that was one of the things that I couldn't stand the most about the way they did business, was that they had all this stuff that they did, right? That like costs the company money, right? And then they have to go up on their prices of their products.
Oh, yeah.
Or they have to they would tell us that we couldn't have a full-time employee at our store. We could only have one part-time employee. And it's like, okay, so we literally have no third key holder, which means that if the manager goes on vacation, like the assistant manager has to be there open to close every day while the manager's on vacation, and vice versa. Right? So like if my manager would have gone on vacation, I had to be there open to close Monday through Saturday, which was like, 120 hours, or whatever, right? And it's like, it would cost you less money to just let us have somebody else with a key.
So still.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, why does that not make sense? And so then they would like send you all this marketing fluff, essentially, that you had to put out in the store and all that kind of crap. And it's just like a bunch of wasted paper. And like, it's like you're wasting all this money on this stuff, and my store can't afford to have, even though we're one of the highest producing stores in the country,
Right.
we can't afford to have a full timer. And it's
Not
like,
in that shop.
yeah, so it's like, what if you just don't send us all this paper? Can we then
Right.
hire a full timer? You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like, come on, man. Like, how do you tell? And this was the hardest part about that, was that we had a full time employee that they cut back to part time. So it's like, how do you tell your full time employee that we have to cut your hours back to part time because corporate said so? But also part of your job is to put out all this waste every month that they
Right,
send
right.
us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, come on, man. That does not look good.
That's why Circuit City's no longer around.
That's true.
And Best Buy's going
It's
under.
true.
I
You
guess
think
we can
so?
talk-
Best Buy's going on there? Let's
they're
talk about that.
they're
Go.
well, hold on. No. I got something better to talk about. It's kind of top of topic right now as well. So, positive thing.
Is that
and
person naked?
I
Oh,
did
he
see
has,
somebody.
He has shorts on.
There was somebody puking on the drive over here, hanging outside
They're
the
trying to
vehicle.
go into my store over there, but we're not open today. So, they're probably stopping to look at it because they posted it.
Oh
on
yeah.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
Such a blessing. What we're gonna talk about, what I'd like to discuss, and such a scary and messed up way. Let's talk about the NFL draft.
I didn't watch any of it. I got notifications on my phone when the Dolphins drafted people, but I didn't like actually watch any of it.
What I think is kind of interesting and
Talk to me.
what I want to talk about is, so you have these young gentlemen that all their life, all they know about is football.
Football.
And hey,
American
if they make
football.
it in the NFL, they're set for life, right? If
That's
they make
right.
it on a team,
Yeah, because you only have to get that paycheck one time. If you're smart enough, you can
theoretically,
just,
yes.
you can
Now,
you can be done.
there are some players that have
They're definitely are.
squandered their money. But just talk about how
My
embarrassing.
door open? Did they go inside?
What do you think? Somebody met him?
No, there's no other car. I think
Not
I locked-
necessarily
I think I
embarrassing,
locked the
but
door back, but it's fine either way. What are they gonna do? Take those shirts? Whatever.
bro, you are looked at just like a piece of meat.
Oh yeah, no, that's for sure. They're like cattle at a
Let's
freaking
talk
auction,
about
bro.
that.
Yeah, it's crazy. That's interesting. Well, I wish I was more prepared, but yeah, interesting.
Just off the cuff. I mean, think about it. So, play football from 6, 7, 5 years old, all the way up until you're graduated.
Yeah, now they're
and then
20
you're
years old, whatever, 22, something like that.
You're straight into college, so either your parents or somebody involved in the football industry is grooming you to become this player.
That's true.
So all you know
It's foosball.
is foosball,
Yeah.
and now you're put in front of all these teams, and all they care about is how intelligent you are for football. You know, are you going to be trouble? Are you going to get into crime? Or are you not
Yeah.
going to make it on the team? Your injuries, how fast you are, how high
Sure.
you jump. You're just strictly looked at like
You want to
cattle.
know? You want to be real honest? I'll give you my thoughts. On the
Yeah, well, I'll be honest, man.
Yeah, let's. You know what? Let's stop lying to each other. I would posit that the first 2 to 5, maybe even 10, but definitely 2 to 5 picks in the draft are almost strictly made for the purpose of jersey sales. Like, not strictly, but that's taken into consideration, right?
I mean, it is.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's taken highly into consideration. Is like how much money can we instantly make even before he throws his first pass or whatever off of Bryce Young, right? Like,
Counter argument.
go.
I
me.
think to an extent, depending on how the team structure is. So,
Yeah.
Bill Belichick,
Doesn't care.
he
Yeah,
that's not happening.
he doesn't care about that.
But you're
But how often is Bill Belichick picking in the top 5? Almost never.
right.
So, there's that.
But I do agree to that.
We
too.
should look that up. When's the last time New England picked in the top 10 even?
You got to think what's the gentleman's name that owns the Jaguars? Something Khan. What's his name?
Yeah, something like that. I don't know what his name is, but something like that.
I see him as a pretty pure business-minded individual.
Yeah.
And a few of the owners out there that certainly might have some say. Do you picture him going, how many jerseys are they going to sell?
Yeah, I think so. I think I really do. Some of the teams do. I think they really do think that way, especially when they're. So, here's the thing. If these decisions were being made strictly based on talent, then the Jaguars wouldn't be picking in the top 5 every year. But they didn't this year. But you know what I'm saying? If they were really trying to win games, you know what I'm saying?
But
Like,
I
it
think
is
a
a
lot-
business. And like winning the Super Bowl doesn't necessarily make you more money. Right? Like, it does, but it doesn't necessarily. It actually could cost you money if you start thinking in terms of player bonuses and things like that.
But your
Right.
team, though, so your team is valued. So
Yeah.
if you go to ever sell again, you win that
Well,
Super
that's
Bowl.
fair. Like in the terms of like selling the
You
business.
talk about producing income.
Sure. But even then, if winning the Super Bowl, that's an interesting stat that I would like things that I would like to have thought about before we
No,
started
it's
talking
okay.
about.
That's what
So like,
you can look it
how
up.
much does winning the Super Bowl
Look it up.
increase the value of a team from a standpoint of like the Jaguars won a Super Bowl. They didn't become a better.
with Maurice Jones-Drew.
They weren't necessarily a more looked at franchise
Hang
after that.
on, but they did sell sometime after then, didn't they?
I don't know if they did. Yeah, because someone did buy them. Yeah,
And
the
we
guy
should-
that owns them now. I guess.
Yes.
Yeah. We should see if there was like an offer on the table beforehand, and if that number went up when they won
Call your contacts.
the Super Bowl. Yeah, I should call Gary V. He might know.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll just give him a shout. So, but like, I don't know if being a better team necessarily makes you a more money-making team.
I think it does.
Like,
especially the
fandom
Bills.
matters, right? Like, fandom matters, right? Like, winning does matter in terms of, like, you might pick up some bandwagon fans. But, like, the Steelers are a good example of a
Dude,
team
use the Bills.
that actually doesn't have to be good to be profitable, right? The Bills probably too, right? Like,
Look how
I would
many
actually
years
put the
Bills
Jaguars
sucked.
into that bucket as well. The Jaguars, because of when they became a franchise and like when they like early mid 90s, and they like where they are, Jacksonville, right? Like, there's a lot
That's
of
what cost
factors
them
there.
the most money is being in Jacksonville.
There's a lot of factors that they're in a really nice part. I love that
Yeah.
spot in Jacksonville. But anyway,
But Florida sports.
yeah. So like, I don't know, man. It's an interesting thing to talk about for sure, because
You got Tim Tebow. They talked about bringing Tim Tebow, and they didn't.
they actually
He had-
tried to, and then
Yeah.
like didn't. Yeah, it was like, no, never mind. They got rid of Urban Meyer or whatever, and yeah. But yeah,
Was that them?
they just took everything out of my store. I looked. They boxed it all up and carried it out. It's clean out over there. So that's
But
good.
let's-
That's good for me.
Let's
'cause I
talk
have
about
to do
that
it now.
question for a second. So, I'm a perfect example, right? So I've
You are
been
a
a
perfect
diehard
example.
Bills fan forever. Now I did have a period where
You just didn't
Bills
care.
were terrible, and I didn't care.
You were still a fan, but
You
you, didn't
guys
like
can
go out of
blast
your
me
way
right
to
now.
watch the games.
Yeah, I'd be working
I've been there
either
with
Circuit
Miami
City
too.
or Best
Yeah.
Buy or whatever, and I'm not buying anything. We're not doing good. I'm not buying jerseys. I'm not
Yeah.
buying cards. I'm not buying keys. I'm not buying Zubas pants. I'm not buying Buffalo
Zubaz
Bills. Virtually anything.
Yeah.
But I'm not saying I jumped on the wagon, but as I
Right.
started to get older in my career and kind of circled back to
Sure.
becoming diehard again, man, started buying all this stuff. And so I'm not the only one.
Of course not.
And now there's a lot of people that are on the Josh Allen bandwagon and know
Sure.
about the team and root for the team when their team's not doing
Yeah.
well. So there's a lot of other money flying around, I would say.
So, when was Josh Allen picked in the draft?
2000.
No, I mean, like, what area? Like, where in the draft? Not what year. What number?
He was within top 10.
Okay.
I got to guess now.
There wasn't like a quiz show question.
No,
You don't
I
have
wanna
to get it
know.
right.
I'm
You
gonna
don't
look it
win
up.
anything if you get it right. Or wrong. You don't lose anything if you get it wrong.
I'm gonna look it up.
Yeah, good idea. So, who was drafted? Look up when he was drafted and who was drafted before him at the quarterback position in the same year. I want to see.
I think Josh Rosen was.
That's terrible. Way to go, Arizona.
Lamar Jackson was after.
Was after, yes.
Yes.
Which was originally thought to be
I think Sam
an
Darnold went before
insane,
too.
an insane thing. So let's look and see. If Josh Rosen was he the number one pick?
He
that
was
year?
pick 7. I should have known that.
Okay, you should have. That's why I asked you, because I thought you would know, but you
Mm-hmm.
didn't. So look at that year now, and let's see who all was picked beforehand.
Oh yeah, Baker was
Baker.
number 1.
Baker Mayfield
Saquon-
was picked to sell jerseys. Okay, moving on.
Right, because the Browns aren't. The
Right.
Browns are the Browns.
Saquon Barkley, not so.
Sam Darnold.
Sam Darnold, not
really.
so. Yeah. So okay, so that year definitely doesn't play well into my thought. For sure.
Ooh, Denzel Ward was number 4 to the Browns too.
Oh, how about was it the Texans
Yeah, they
the other night that picked
they went
second?
banana sandwich.
They picked second and then traded to pick third.
Yeah, they traded the
Yeah.
Cardinals.
That's pretty crazy. That's a big move to pick twice in the top 3.
I think they instantly made their team
pretty
better
crazy.
too.
Of course, yeah. They wouldn't have done it if it wasn't a well thought out. One would assume a well thought out decision.
So you're this young guy. You're at the draft.
Yeah.
You know, imagine the emotions that they're going through. The whole.
Yeah.
That's got to be crazy.
Did you see the guy that was like looked like he was just pissed off to get picked by the Patriots?
Oh yeah, I watched that today.
He's just like, I don't even want to go now. I'm gonna go play baseball.
I'll stay home.
Yeah, it's like,
I don't want that paycheck.
Chili's is hiring, so I'm good. Yeah, he looked mad about it. I only saw a picture of it on one of the Dolphins' Facebook pages, but yeah, he did not look happy. And it could have just been like a moment that they like picked that he, it hadn't hit yet or something. But
you gotta kind of wonder what started. I know you probably want to break this tangent, but
no, you're good.
What started the professional sports that it was all right to be able to just trade players around and move them
I don't
anywhere?
like it.
What started all that?
I don't know, but I don't like it. I think that there should be a lot less
start your life.
Trade availability and a lot more loyalty, essentially, to the team that took a chance on you, right? Now, sometimes the team takes a chance on you, Josh Rosen,
Yeah.
and they trade you the next year.
Yeah.
Right? They get rid of you. That sucks. They shouldn't be allowed to do that, in my opinion. I feel like if a team picks you, signs a contract with you, and all of that sort of stuff, that they should have to see through that contract.
And if you're not what they
at least
thought,
to some
restructure
degree,
it then.
right? At least to some degree, not just sell it to the next guy. Essentially, is what they do. Because, like you said, these guys they're already moving, most likely moving to a whole new city. They only technically have to live there part of the year, but they still have to live there. So they have to either rent an apartment or buy a house or whatever. If they're not going to live there the whole year, because they don't, because they're going to they're allowed to take some time off or whatever, if that's what the organization allows, and they're going to have to also have a place
right in their
back home, right? So they have to buy 2 houses theoretically, right, or rent 2 houses or whatever, and then to just the next year uproot that and send them off to another city now where they have to, you know what I mean? Like, that's crazy.
So think about this. Now, we can't boo-hoo this too much because if you put me in the position, I would do that all day long. But how about when the sports just started? So when was it okay when they're not getting paid?
Yeah.
When was it okay? Was it all right once they started making money? Okay, I'll get rid of you now.
It's because
right.
I don't know when it happened, but it's been within my lifetime that it's become more okay to just trade players around and get rid of them and move them around. If you look at some of the players that played even in other sports, not just in
basketball, soccer,
not just football, but if you look back when we were kids and like you look at like who these guys played for,
it's a laundry list.
Well, no, you see a lot more of like people playing with the same team or maybe like one other team,
right,
in their life, like in their career, right? Like Griffey is a good example of somebody who didn't like bounce around a whole lot. Like now, sometimes later in your years, right? Like Scottie Pippen, you don't even think about all the teams that he played for because he spent so much time with the Bulls, that you don't even remember all the teams that he played for after that.
Right.
But it was like he spent all those first years in Chicago.
And that ended up being a money thing. They wouldn't pay him what he wanted.
Right. And so Jordan too. Like Jordan he retired and came back, but he spent all of that time in Chicago and then he went and did something else, Like it'd be interesting to see how many years Shaq was in Orlando before he left and went to Phoenix?
Well,
or did he go to
Magic
Cleveland first?
He played for sure for the Heat.
Yeah.
We know he played for the Lakers.
Yeah.
But who was...
Oh, I think he went from Orlando to L.A. And then he went from L.A.
Wait, he played with Kobe.
Yeah, he played with Kobe. So then he went from L.A. to like Phoenix, and then he played for the Celtics for a short time, I'm pretty sure. And he played in Cleveland, I think, for a short time.
Did he?
And, maybe not. and Miami for sure for a short time. Anyway, either way, like I would like to know how many years he played before he moved, right? Because I feel like it was sometime in the early 2000s, early to mid 2000s, when they started really like not caring about people sticking around anymore, and we're just like everyone's just trade fodder. You know what I mean? It's just like we're just going to use you to get, if you're not producing right now, we're going to get rid of you, and there's no like development time. Like,
Imagine,
I understand that you're a professional, but sports, like you're a professional athlete, you're a professional football player, right? So you're supposed to come with some degree of ability to play the game,
right?
Like you're that's innate, right? You're there. You have the ability to do your job, but
Belichick style.
You also have guys that come into the league that are good at what they do, but maybe they're undersized.
Right.
Or they're fast, but they're college football fast. And the pros are...
Or they get the drop seeds and they can't overcome it right away.
Like things happen.
Bad coaching, wrong coach.
But wrong coach can matter. So there's got to be something said for like giving these guys time to figure out like, why do I have the yips, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and what can I do about it? How can we fix it as an organization? Because you took a chance on me, and I'm willing to devote this time to you because I signed the contract saying that I would. But if you're not willing to give me that in return as well, then we have a problem, and that's not cool. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't think that I don't think it's okay to just trade guys off like that. Now, if they've been there for 4, 5, 6 years or something like that, and like they've kind of run their course and somebody else wants them because they need a little more veteran player on their team to coach up the next guy, and an Aaron Rodgers going to the New York Jets kind of deal, right? Like, he's been there for 15 years or something, right? Like, that's different. But like, to just get rid of them the next year and they bounce around all these teams, Ryan Fitzpatrick style, you know?
Like, he did well. Let's talk about this.
Oh, Ryan Fitzpatrick did fine in the NFL.
Here's the picture. Here's the scenario. All right. The world changes all of a sudden. Okay?
That happens every day.
You're back at Sherwin-Williams. Your manager has been talking to the Sherwin-Williams from Flint, Michigan.
Oh, God. Right. Yeah.
And the scenario is...
Yeah. They're going to give them me...
He gets 2 new young employees that are part-time.
Right.
They send you up on your salary.
Right. Yeah. They're buying my contract. Yeah. And I got to move to Flint, Michigan.
You got to move to Flint, Michigan.
Or quit the organization. Those are my 2 options, right?
Yeah.
You can either go to Flint or you can go work at Chili's. Chili's is higher.
You go to work at Chili's.
Yeah.
And
good. It's fine.
You are doing so well that the Chili's in California takes notice. And you become a free agent from Chili's.
Yeah.
And fair. Your new signing bonus from the California Chili's is like, you know what I'm saying? What if world changed and all of a sudden we're drafted, we're traded,
I feel like
I'm good with firing people. Listen, I'm not about like we've got businesses.
So that's the other. So that's the other side of the coin, right? Is that you are an employee of said business.
Yeah.
Because sports teams are businesses.
There's 2 sides,
and you are an employee of that business, and as such, you can be fired.
Yeah.
But these guys, it's a little bit different because these guys are signing. These guys are signing contracts.
Yeah.
You don't have a contract with your employer.
Just say they are contracts
in most scenarios, right? Like,
I think doctors have contracts.
They probably do, to work at a hospital for a certain number of years or something, or that kind of thing. Like, I would imagine that's probably true.
So a lot of them have to.
Yeah.
If something happens in malpractice and they
because
sued,
well,
they just move to a different.
There's whatever. Yeah, we're going to. Let's move to another country where they don't have.
I'm trading
laws.
you.
Yeah. So I think that in trade scenarios, would be more okay if the player had a little bit more involvement.
And I think they do now.
Do you think so?
I really feel like when they do
at least
these
from
tweets,
their agent perspective and stuff.
Look at Aaron Rodgers. Yeah. He picked where he wanted to go.
Well, of course he could.
That cheese dog forced his way in and basically said where he was going.
Well, and he could have chosen, but see, he's been in the league for a while.
Right.
He's done what he needs to do.
Yeah.
He's made the money. He's made a name for himself. He's Aaron Rodgers. He's a household name, even outside of football. Right. He's done it. He's done all the stuff.
Discount double check.
Right. So he could say, in his
I'm not
case,
playing.
he could say, "You want to trade me to Chicago? Well, I don't want to go to Chicago, so I'm just not going to play anymore.
Yeah.
I'm done."
Right.
Now, a Josh Rosen doesn't have that
No.
ability. He doesn't get to say that because he doesn't. Well, he can. He can technically say that, but it's not in his best interest to do so. It's in his best interest to just go along with what they want to do. But
And Josh, we're not hating you. We're not,
that sucks. I'm just using him because
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
somebody
yeah,
that
yeah.
I know was only around
Somebody that I
his
used to
drafted
know.
team for a year. You know what I mean?
TA.
And he got let
Go TA.
got sent off. Yeah, now you're just somebody that I used to know.
There's a clip.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, clip that.
So it was just weird thinking about that the other day. I thought it would be a nice little topic to talk about.
Yeah,
Should have pulled some stats and whatnot. But
we should have been prepared. You should have been prepared.
I
like
was.
We've talked about in the past.
Look at me.
Yeah, you
I'm
were
right
ready.
off the beach prepared.
You were ready.
Super.
Yeah, you were ready.
Justin Fields is always prepared.
Yeah, that's right. I don't love the disloyalty aspect of the way that the trading system works. That's my thing.
And the fans miss a lot of it in the back, like the behind the scenes. So it's upsetting to us too.
Yeah, and it's like okay, Josh Rosen again, right? You're an Arizona Cardinals fan. Josh Rosen gets drafted by the Arizona Cardinals, and you're like,
Boo.
all right, cool. I watched him play in college. He was decent. I feel like he's gonna fit in here. You know,
It's kind of like an Aaron Rodgers.
let's make this happen. This is gonna be great, right? You go out and buy a jersey, right?
Yeah.
You start collecting football cards, all this kind of stuff, right? And then they draft,
one.
and then the next year they draft Kyler Murray and let Rosen go, and you're like, "F you, man!
Yeah.
I'm
Refund my money.
Yeah, like I'm part of this. Like I'm part of this too, and I feel slighted,
Especially Green Bay.
right? Especially Green Bay.
You know, right?
What happened with Green Bay?
The team is actually owned,
By the players,
Which is
by,
really-
by the fans. I mean,
which
yeah.
is really cool.
That is pretty cool. It's like they're like the Publix of the professional sports world.
We need all of those.
Yeah,
like
Publix is owned by its employees. Did you know that? Not by its fans, but by its employees.
that. You mean I don't?
You don't own Publix.
Oh,
You don't work there.
I just learned something.
My
today.
roommate just started working.
I
there.
thought I owned Publix.
Yeah, you're a no. You have to spend the money so that it can stay around.
I'm gonna start crying.
Yeah, it's crazy. I got to go there after this. I think I'm gonna go buy some steaks.
I'm gonna
or
go
something,
eat
man. I'm
wieners and
hungry.
burgers after this.
You're crazy, bro. You're crazy. Wieners and you're gonna have both.
I don't know. I'm that hungry.
You might. I'm starving, dude. I went to McDonald's this morning for breakfast because on Sundays I've stopped eating McDonald's. No, listen, I've stopped eating McDonald's like almost 100%. When this one opened here in Freeport, I was like a customer, right? Like it was like a lot.
You got a parking
It's
spot.
just so convenient, right? Like it sucks. It's not good. I understand that, but it's convenient. Like I don't have to get out of my truck and go inside and get a sandwich from Publix.
Yeah.
Right. Like you know what I mean. Like
which
it's
has
just
become such a hassle.
it's a pain in the ass, dude. It's crazy. So like I don't. It's not that I love McDonald's. It's just that it's convenient, and that I get that that's not necessarily the best way to go, but
Right.
it is. So and I'll even leave the shop sometimes with like intent to go to Publix or to go to Sweet Southern or something, and I get in my truck and I'm driving and I'm like, I don't want to get out of my truck,
yeah.
and so I just drive. You know what I mean? So like I've made myself stop doing that, but on Sunday mornings when I'm going to church, I'll go to the McDonald's in Blue Water and get breakfast.
Hey McDonald's, you can go ahead and send us.
Yeah. We
some
do
gift
expect a
certificates,
check.
please.
Yeah, no, we expect
or
a check.
a very large
Yeah, it doesn't have
signing
to be,
bonus.
Yeah, signing
right?
bonus. Yeah.
We'll join.
We'll put a sign behind me here.
Yeah.
We'll get rid of the bottle of Zeal right there.
We'll tear the whole wall down for you,
We'll,
McDonald's.
Yeah. So anyway, I went to McDonald's this morning to get my breakfast, and I ordered, and I got a Diet Dr Pepper to drink, and he hands me my drink, and I look at it, and like you could tell it was like,
I thought a Diet Dr Pepper was a sandwich, but now I know.
yeah, it could have been a sandwich. It might as well have been a sandwich. No, so he handed it to me, and it was like almost clear, but not quite, you know. And I
Yeah.
was just like, I know this isn't gonna like it's missing syrup.
Bro,
It's
your
just-
syrup's out.
Yeah, like I know that, but like I just didn't even want to bother, like because I had another drink with me anyway.
It was already a hassle to be in your vehicle to drive to that
Yeah,
drive-thru.
so it was like you could understand how ridiculous.
I don't even
this
want
is,
to talk.
right?
You
Yeah.
just have your hand out with a money
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that.
Oh, the guy didn't. He was just like here, like you know what I mean. So anyway, I go to taste. I taste it as I get down the road, and like obviously it doesn't taste. It just tastes like freaking soda water.
Yeah.
With a little bit of Diet Dr Pepper syrup. But it was like my thought was like I knew right away. As soon as he handed it to me, I knew that it was wrong. Right. So how did he not know before he handed
they
it
know
to
when
me
there's-
that it was wrong? It was
didn't
in a
care.
clear cup. You know what I mean? It wasn't in a paper cup. So like he could see it. I could see it. You know what I mean? Like as soon as he like, and I just didn't even bother because I was just like whatever. I don't like. I just got a drink because it comes with the meal anyway. You know what I mean? So I was just like whatever. I don't care. So
See, that's where we are now.
yeah, but it was like, how did you not even notice that this was wrong?
You should have went full Karen.
I should have. I thought about it, but I was already like down the road, and I was just like, because I thought about going back and being like, dude, what is this crap, dude? What is wrong with you people? Like, you knew this wasn't right. It looks like it didn't even look like watered down soda. It looked like watered down tea. It was so clear. You know what I mean?
You
It's like,
should've
come
went full
on, man.
Karen.
Yeah, I should probably do that more often. But see,
So
I grew up in the restaurant industry.
I worked at
and
McDonald's when I was
I
younger.
never worked at a fast food place, but
You should have.
I worked in a lot of restaurants and like sandwich shops and stuff like that around town here, and
Cafe Risque
almost none of which are still. Oh, well, I was a dancer. They're not a cook.
You also cooked.
Yeah. Oh, I was
You were
cooking.
the star.
Oh, I
You
was
were-
cooking, baby.
You were the star show.
Yeah. Have you ever been to Cafe Risque?
No, we always. My
Dude!
buddies and I always joke
You've
about
gotta
it.
go. I've been one
Always
time in
joke
my
about
life.
it.
Yeah,
No.
I've been one time.
All my buddies stop there.
I didn't eat anything.
Well,
I didn't eat any food. No, I'm kidding. We didn't.
Ah!
we didn't eat. We didn't eat. We didn't eat.
you
We
just
didn't eat.
cooked.
We were just cooking, bro. You know they make you buy a drink though. You have to buy a drink.
Oh, they make you order food too.
No, you don't have to
Whatever.
order food. You have to just spend a certain amount of money, essentially.
Apparently-
if you don't buy anything, they charge you to leave, essentially.
When when my buddies went, the ladies were like, "You're not ordering anything," and they got a little pissy.
I would have just told them no.
I'm not here for your
We were
T-bone
there.
steaks.
We were there watching I think there was like one girl dancing, so it was like 2:30 in the afternoon or
Yeah.
something. You know what I mean? We were on our way to Tampa. Tampa, you've been there? The armpit of Florida. We were on our way to Tampa to Slam Fest. Not this past year, but back when we were younger.
You went to Cafe Risque.
We stopped at Cafe Risque.
on
One of my
the way
buddies,
to the armpit of Florida
That's
to
right.
a thing called
Slam,
Slam
Fest. Yes. Yes.
Tim. You were on a mission.
We were, I'm on a mission from Gat.
Was that like Pog Slammers or were they?
No, it's car show.
Are you sure it wasn't like
They
the,
might have had slammers
the
there.
printed out slammer for wrapping plastic and you smash the Pogs? Come on,
I
man.
remember Pogs. Yeah, we had Pogs. I remember Pogs.
That was the Slam Fest that you went to.
Yeah, it was a Pog tournament. It was a Pogs tournament down in Tampa. It was the National Pog League Finals.
I actually heard at that final
Yeah.
event
Yeah.
that you guys created the tallest Pog Tower.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. Ooh, interesting.
Guinness Book of Records.
Guinness Book of World Records, tallest Pog Tower in existence.
Taller
So
than Cafe
this is
Risque.
something I learned the other day. We're going to talk about this
Okay.
and how big of a weird gap it was in between the things that happened.
All right.
After the Great Pyramids were built,
Pogs made you think of this.
Pogs made me think of this.
Okay.
After the Great Pyramids were built, what was the next thing that we built as a human civilization right? The next structure that we built that was taller than the pyramids.
Pogs.
No, it wasn't Pogs.
Okay, so all right.
It was before Pogs, but Pogs is like third on the list. So what was the next thing that was built
as tall or taller than pyramids?
as tall or taller than the pyramids? So there was like the pyramids were built, and then this is the next thing that was that grandiose of a thing. It's an interesting.
I'm gonna guess wrong.
Interesting answer. You might go ahead.
Colosseum?
Nope. The Colosseum's not tall. It's just a lot of death. They just
Tall.
killed a lot of things. It's got to be tall, like a building.
Not the Eiffel Tower.
Ba-na-na, 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 ba-na-na. I'm just Jeopardy theme music. It's not
No,
a hint.
I'm interested to hear.
It's actually the Eiffel Tower. It is
Wow.
that. So the thing that was built next after the pyramids that was like
Why'd you
a
tell me I
tall
was right?
structure, because you said it's not the Eiffel Tower, which that means
Gross.
you were wrong. So yeah, isn't that crazy to think about? That like the pyramids were built at a time like, thousands of years essentially before the next thing that was built that was that tall.
This is searchable. You can actually
Isn't that
verify
crazy?
this with Google and any other search engine you want. ChatGPT will tell you the
That's true.
very first slammer was made out of the Eiffel Tower metal. Look it
That's
up.
right. Yeah,
Look
yeah,
it
yeah.
up, guys.
Yeah. And that slammer was actually used at Slamfest, which is not a car show.
Yeah.
It's the finals for the National Pog League. It was used to flip the tallest Pog tower.
Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah. It was used to flip the tallest Pog tower that won the Guinness Book of
I
World
was there.
Records. Yeah. It's all on video. It's all on video from like
Find it, I dare
2003
you.
or something. So yeah, it's back there. It's there.
Whoever finds it first.
Yeah. Someone just actually went to the Eiffel Tower with like a hole saw and just like cut out a piece of it. And they were like, boom, slammer, boys.
Yeah.
Let's go.
This is it.
Yeah, it's just crazy, dude. It's crazy how that worked. So yeah, but that was cool. I thought that was an interesting piece of like world history trivia of like, but like when you think about that, right? That it was essentially thousands of years. When were the pyramids built? I'm gonna ask Siri or somebody. When were the pyramids built? When were the pyramids built? So 2500-ish BC.
I remember then.
Okay, yeah, you were there. You were a foreman on the job, right? Yeah, you were helping.
I was a subcontractor.
Subcontractor, yeah, you were.
Except for I wasn't paid in normal money.
No, of course not. So 2500 BC to 0, and then the Eiffel Tower was built in the 1800s. So that's almost
Pretty crazy.
that's like 4,000 years in between the pyramids and the Eiffel Tower. What was going on for those 4,000 years that we just like didn't build shit? Like we didn't build anything for those. You know what I mean? It was just like we just built houses, I guess, but like no, like
Was there a lot of was there
now was there a reason? I guess like
was there
to build
religious
anything that
turmoil
tall?
back then?
There would have been, I'm sure, at some point.
Because there was the big
There was a thing that happened about halfway in between those two things that a lot of people know about called Jesus Christ. I
Right,
don't know
yeah,
if
that's
you
in there too.
if you remember that. That was about the halfway point between those two things. But anyway, I thought that was a cool piece of history. That was that for 4,000 years we basically didn't do anything.
Which was
we
also
basically
around
didn't
religious
build
wars as
anything
well.
at all.
that was huge
What?
just in that time zone.
Yeah, there was a lot of stuff going on religiously.
I can kill you
wars-wise.
because you don't believe in my
They were killing babies and
crazy.
yeah, wild and
Anyway.
crazy. It's a good thing we don't do that anymore.
We just do things in a totally different way.
Woo. Yeah. What else, man? We've been an hour and 10 minutes. You want to go home and eat some hot dogs?
Let's wrap it up so I can eat some
You want to
wieners.
go put some wiener in your mouth? Gary's got to go eat wieners, y'all.
Hey, only with the finest of relishes.
Yeah. What kind of relish do you like?
If I could make a relish out of sweet jerkins, I would.
I like a good sweet pickle. Like the baby ones, or the big
Yeah.
ones. Yeah. I like a good sweet pickle.
Ooh, I'm
I
hungry.
like relish pretty good. I like different kinds of relishes that aren't just like regular old pickle relish. You know, like
Yeah.
you know what I mean, like different types of flavors and
Throw
stuff.
some
Like
pimento in there.
yeah, or like a chow chow type situation. You know what that is? Chow chow. It's like a hot relish. What about like
Cowboy, the jalapenos.
oh yeah, the jalapeno. Man, there's a place in Andalusia. There's like a little farmers market thing out there that sells jalapeno peach jelly.
Ooh.
Man, it's so good. Bro, it's so good.
If you get there
A
again.
friend of mine was
buy it.
actually there today,
Oh.
and she posted a video, like a reel or something, or a video or something like that, and I was just like, I'm not very happy.
You didn't buy
She
it.
actually asked me if I wanted to go with her, but I was like, I already had to volunteer at church. Like I was already on the schedule to help out at church, so I was like, I can't. If she didn't buy me any jalapeno jelly, though, it made me mad. Yeah, I'm gonna tell her that. I'm like, you didn't buy any jelly for me, so I'm not gonna. So before we do shut down the show, let's get this on video. Next Sunday,
Next Sunday.
I will not be in town.
Okay.
So we'll eat. Oh wow, there was almost an accident outside just now.
Yeah.
Someone pulled out of the church and almost got T-boned. Yeah, T-boned. So I will be in Mobile all weekend, starting Thursday actually until Sunday.
Okay.
So we either have to do the show.
Wednesday.
We could do it remotely because I'll have my computer and stuff with me. And all you'll need is your phone, technically.
Yeah. Just
Yeah.
so I can call into the.
So what we would do is you would do a Facebook Messenger call with me,
Okay.
and I would put you on another screen, and then we would have a screen here with you and a screen there with me.
Yeah, we can do that.
And I'm assuming I can do that with my with just my laptop. I might have to bring a monitor with me too.
Or if we have nothing
But
going
it
on
would still
Wednesday,
need
we
to
can-
be. It would still need to be either like Friday or Saturday evening, or
Okay.
or something like that. If we do Wednesday, it needs to be
Yeah, because probably getting ready to leave.
like right as I'm done with work, essentially. Like
Okay.
right at 4:00.
Let's play it by ear. Worst case scenario, bring your stuff so we can just do it
Yeah.
remote.
So we'll
Otherwise,
figure it
we'll
out.
wing it Wednesday.
Essentially, we'll figure it out.
And we can talk about the next finest thing from the 90s,
Blossom.
the show.
Yeah, that's what I meant. With Mayim Bialik.
We can talk about Blossom.
Yeah, it's and what was her friend's name?
My brain.
What was her friend's name that talked real fast? Six? I think it was
I don't
Six.
remember.
And she had the brother, right? Whoa. Wasn't that Blossom? Joey?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Yeah.
anyway, yeah, I just wanted to get that out there that I won't be around because I'm going to Battle in Bama.
All right.
And I didn't know I had to go over there Thursday, but vendors have to set up Thursday. So I have to be set up by 6 p.m. on Thursday, which means I've got to leave here by like noon to 2-ish would be the latest I could leave. Probably try to get
Can
out
I
of here
give you
by,
my Costco card?
try to get out of here by lunchtime.
You want to do a Costco run?
I don't actually want to do one, no.
On the card, it says Chuck Norris Jennings. You sure? you
Does
want
it
to?
really?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Lady laughed at it last time.
Wait, it really does?
Yeah, she said you can't do this anymore. She started laughing.
That's awesome, dude. I love it. McLovin? What? One name?
And it has my
Why
picture
only
on
one
it.
name?
Chuck Norris Jennings.
A lot of people only have one name. Seal? Madonna? One name? Well, yeah, it was either between that or Muhammad. Why would it be between that or Muhammad? Have you ever seen Superbad? Come on, man.
I watched it all the time.
Oh, why would it be between that or Muhammad? Why wouldn't you just pick a regular name? Muhammad's the most commonly used name in the world. Read a book.
Just silly.
All right. Any last words for the people?
No, I love football. You guys are making it a ton of money, so just take it and enjoy it.
Don't be dumb with it. That's for sure.
Just don't be done with it.
My piece of advice for you for this week, people, if you're actually listening, is don't just let them trade you to any other team, man.
Yeah.
Stand your ground.
Yes,
You bought a
absolutely.
freaking house, man.
Yeah, come on.
Like, you bought a house here. Don't just let them send you off to Jacksonville, Florida.
I'd be right with Jacksonville.
The other armpit of Florida. No, Jacksonville's cool. Jacksonville's a good town. Duval County.
Duval.
That's right. Jacksonville's a good town. I like Jacksonville.
Do something kind. Be kind to somebody.
Do
'cause you always
something
do
nice
that.
for someone
Yes.
today.
Yes.
And tomorrow, actually, for that matter. I think that's good enough. I think we can just press the button. What do you think?
Let's press.
I'm going to press it in 3, 2, 1, done.